demo on them Friday, and it said y'all had to get those buttonholes in.
You said it was an option.
No, I didn't.
I told you that it was optional.
You might have, but I didn't say that. Okay, I'm gonna go over it again right now, while everybody's in here, buttonholes. Okay, she's gonna do hers. Let me have this front. If this is the front. No, that's the back.
Do you want this to show?
Yeah, well, you can show, and then I'm gonna do it again. Thank you. Oh, she did hers. Look at that. Perfect.
This one's messed up.
The perfect. Perfect. I love perfect. I said 3 buttonholes. Yeah, that went too far over. That's why this is practice. You know, is this the one you're talking about? It went too far over. Remember, I told you right here at the top of this was center front. It went down. It's a 1/2 inch from the edge. And your center fronts, it all depends on every garment you make where your buttonholes are. Like these right here, notice these. These are, can I unbutton it?
I think.
One. Okay.
I was gonna say, I think they're
See
not,
these
but-
right here? These are vertical buttonholes. Lock this in. When you put a vertical buttonhole in, it's always on center front. It sets right on center front. Right? Everybody with me? But when they're horizontal, they go an 1/8 inch past center front. That's because you have that shank. And I'm gonna go in the other room and get you some buttons, 1/2 inch buttons, and you're gonna sew buttons on these. I want everybody to sew buttons on correctly,
Got it.
because everyone should learn how to sew a button on with the shank. Okay? So we're gonna use 1/2 inch buttons, and this right here is a 1/2 inch from center front. So you draw your center front line, and then you go over 1/8 of an inch. This is absolutely perfect. And see, when she puts her button in there and sews it on, it'll set right on the center front line. So when you design your garment, you're gonna do something with buttons, okay? I wanna make sure this is required. This is, Wednesday's the last day, so you've only got this class and Wednesday's class to, finish this. Okay? And I wanna see the buttonholes on it. Absolutely beautiful. Look at her collar. Are you turning it in? Where's Ellen? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go get some buttons in the other room for you. Okay? And this is this is another thing I wanna make sure you all understand when you put your cuff on, because I'll take off 5 points if it's not darn right. We're putting our cuff on like this. See, this is the upper sleeve, and it's going to button over like this. So this bias right here gets turned under. This lays flat. Are you with me on that? Because there will be people that will not get it right.
Wait, can I see which way it lays, which direction, like, does the right or
The
left
top,
right
the
matter?
top button, this top one it gets folded over. And it lays on top of this. See, this is your little slip. So I told you all, when you design your blouse, if you want to put one of these openings in it, you can, and then put a buttonhole. Okay? Because I'm going to grade you on your buttonholes and your buttonhole placement. Because 50% of you will not get buttonhole placement. I mean, we have trouble every year, so, I'm making it mandatory. Is everybody with me on that? This is the top of the sleeve, and this placket gets turned under here. Like this, goes like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go get her some buttons, and at the end of class, I'm gonna do a demo on how to sew a button. Yes?
So the distance from center front, it's the size of the button that matters. Like, if it was
Correct.
an inch button, we'd measure an inch from
Right.
center front, and then still have the 1/8 inch overlap.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you can, if the thickness, like your button's a 1 inch button, you can do 1 1/8 inch extension if you want to. You have that option. But you always go by the width of the button. That way, half of the button is sitting on center front and half is sitting toward the edge. Does anybody else have buttons on? Look, she's got buttons. No, she's got snaps on. You got
There's some
You
buttons.
got it, huh? Come here, come here. Now, see?
She's lots of
Okay.
Yeah.
See? And look, she's got a shank. See? And see her button looks like a 1-inch button. She's got a 1-inch extension. And that button, half of the button equals this. They did hers 1 inch and 1/8 instead of 1 inch. Well, it's a thicker fabric. Okay? Everybody got that? So you look at your pattern, and when we do facings, have y'all done facings and pattern making yet? We're gonna start them tomorrow. And you always know your facing and how adamant you have to, how important it is to mark center front. Always, always mark your center front, always. Because you'll take that and you'll overlap it like that. And then you'll put your buttonholes on, okay? You fit anything, even if you make clothes that are asymmetrical, you always have to match center front. Okay? So